turn now to Edmund Ghareeb. He's an academic and expert on the Middle East. Sir, thank you so much for joining us today. I want to start by, sir, thank you, asking you, 20 years on, what is the legacy of the Iraq War for its people and the country? More than about half of its population wasn't even alive in 2003. They didn't see Iraq under the dictatorship of Saddam Hussein, but they've been witness to the lack of stability since then.
Let me quote an Iraqi novelist, prize-winning novelist, Ahmed Saadawi, who recently wrote a novel called Frankenstein in Baghdad. And what he said, many Americans and others believe that the war liberated us from fear, from dictatorship. But in fact, it opened the gates of hell to previously unknown horrors. I think this, to a large extent, reflects the reality and what happened to Iraq after the war. Iraq continued, first of all, as one of your previous guests or correspondents spoke about, in a way, the Lebanonization of Iraq. The Iraqi government was divided along sectarian and ethnic lines. The president is a Kurd, the prime minister is a Shiite, the Speaker of the Parliament is a Sunni. So sectarianism was strengthened. Ethnic nationalism was also strengthened. Iraq lacked electricity. They could still continue in many areas, water, clean water, the problem with inflation, the problem with education, that about several million refugees, actually, both internal refugees as well as external refugees. Iraq lost the middle class. Iraq had one of the largest and strongest middle classes in the Middle East, and that's what contributed to its growth. Millions left the country, and the country is paying a price for this. In addition, women who had made tremendous strides previously now are pushed back years. So all of these things are really issues which continue to affect Iraqis. Hopefully there will be some improvement. There has been some improvement. Yes, there are elections, for example, but elections by themselves do not democracy make. And so Iraq continues to suffer, and the region. Despite all what we've heard, the U.S. mission accomplished. It did not achieve the objectives. The U.S. wanted to remove weapons of mass destruction. There were no weapons of mass destruction, and many knew that. So the information was fabricated, even though Tony Blair, the Prime Minister of England, said we could be hit within 45 minutes. That's what intelligence tells us, that Britain could be hit by weapons of mass destruction from Iraq. In fact, strengthening American control of the region and the unipolar world. But in fact, what we have seen, Iraq may have been one of the first steps to undermine American unipolarism in the world. So I think there were also the negative consequences of Iraq for the United States and for the region as a whole.
And sir, only about 30 seconds left. I want to get your thoughts on, do you think that the aftermath of the war diminished the position of the U.S. in the Middle East? We just saw China broker a truce between Iran and Saudi Arabia.
There's no doubt about it that the world now is entering a new phase. We have seen the return of Russia. We've seen the rise of China. And these are major powers that are going to be players, and we are going to see a multipolar world across the globe.
All right, we'll have to leave it there. Edmund Ghareeb, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.